What is up, guys, and welcome back to the episode of the F123 Mobile Racing Criminal. We are here for episode number 10 today, then, for the start of Season 3. We have finished Season 2 with Alfa Romeo, and now it is time to move on to Challenger 1, then. We have access to 3 out of the 4 teams. The only team that doesn't want us for some reason is Williams, which I really don't get. But, yeah. We do have access to HAAS, Alfa Romeo, and AlphaTauri. And of course, like we said, we started with AlphaTauri this new series. And like I said, Alfa Romeo was our second. So this year, it's time to go for something different. I'm going to go with the American team, HAAS F1, with Nico Hulkenberg, or as Ricardo puts it, Nico Hulkenberg. Okay, that was terrible. He is going to be our teammate for this season. 6 races in Challenger 1, and we start at Imola, then one of 2 Ferrari's homelands here. Of course, the Autodromo Enzo Igino Ferrari is going to play host for the first round of 6 in this Season 3 setup. Then the HAAS, hopefully let's see how this one plays out compared to the other ones. Verstappen, Perez, Alonso, Leclerc, Stroll, Russell, Hamilton, Norris, Sainz, and Ocon complete the top 10. So Ferrari not looking so good in qualifying. I don't think Tifosi will be too happy with a Red Bull 1-2, but let's see if we can disrupt the chaos then in this HAAS here. DRS wide open as we make our way towards the first sequence of corners. Actually, it's turn 2 and turn 3 technically, because that little kink there in the straight is technically considered turn 1, as we absolutely murdered those curbs here. So I have a suspension, and our Ford decided not to brake there. As we make our way through these next sequence of corners, the sun glare absolutely almost ruining our line there. We go a little too wide there, 20.7 in the first second here. With this HAAS, of course, it's a bit of a different experience. What I am liking about this HAAS, though, is the fact that it does seem a little bit more grippier compared to the Alfa Romeo. Like I said, with that Alfa Romeo, it just felt very heavy in a lot of these corners. Although one thing I will notice about this HAAS, though, is definitely the fact that it doesn't seem to have that overall overpowered straight line speed compared to the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo definitely did have a bit of an edge in straight line speed compared to the AlphaTauri, and I wouldn't even argue this car as well as we try to take a decent line through those corners instead of getting a massive corner cut penalty, so that's not really going to help our cause here. But we're going to make our way into the final 2 corners, and we can still make up some time. 29.2, by the way, to the middle sector. None of them are purple sectors. None of them are really even decent sectors, so we'll have to see where we qualify as we go way too wide in the penultimate corner here. We make a decent run, though, out of the final corner, and now using the DRS and sticking to the right-hand side to minimize our run towards the line here as we come across the line. Where is it going to put us for tomorrow's race? Across the line here, 35.4 to the last second. It's going to put us P10 on the grid. It's not a terrible spot. We are in between Sainz and Ocon there, so not the greatest lap there, but we could have had Sainz there for P9. But it's only going to matter on race day. As we go to the grid, then, is Verstappen, Perez, Alonso, Leclerc, Stroll, Russell, Hamilton, Norris, Sainz, us, Ocon, Gasly, Bottas, Guan Yu, Hulkenberg, Piastri, Sargent, Albon, De Vries, and Tsunoda round out the grid. And as we go to 5 red lights for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix and the start of season number 3, it's lights out, and away we go, immediately going over to the left-hand side to cover up Esteban Ocon. As Gasly also got a good start. All the AI seem to have OP starts here in this update. Of course, in future updates, the player does get better starts, and so that is good. But for now, we're going to have to suffer with it. We are tucked up behind the McLaren of Lando Norris here. He's looking pretty strong here as we make our way into the next sequence of corners. We're trying to follow the Brit driver through these sequence of corners. Now looking for a move here up the inside into the hairpin. And that's us up into P9, tucked up behind now the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz here. The Tifosi are going to be trying to cheer on Leclerc and Sainz to move up through the field here. But let's see if we can disrupt the party. As Sainz doesn't get the greatest to run through that fast left-hander. We're going to try to send it up the inside into this next corner. There's a bit of contact there with a front wing to a side pod. There's a bit of damage, but we managed to get away with it. And we're up into P8. Then we got Hamilton and Russell in our side. Sainz going to try to sneak it back up the inside. We're going to close the door on him. And also at the same time try to actually make a move here on Hamilton. We managed to get side by side. Now we're going to get the slipstream off of Russell. But the Mercedes straight line speed is actually proving pretty dominant. We tuck back in the slipstream. Go back down the inside. We're going to go also on the inside of Russell. He backs out of it just at the last moment. So fair play to him for noticing that we were setting it up the inside. I was a little bit afraid he was going to try to turn in and then combat that. He just He forward turned in on me. What was that all about? But, yeah, we do manage to get away with that scot-free. We're up into P6, then we got Stroll in the Aston Martin just up ahead, so let's see if we can try to hunt him down at this moment in time here. Down to 4th gear to make our way through this next chicane of corners here. A bit of lag starting to settle in, but I think we should be okay for now. We are holding off Russell quite well at this moment in time, so let's just see if we can make up the ground where we can. We're actually getting a pretty decent run through these corners, starting to find the flow. 20.3 to the first sector. Not getting the greatest one though through the hairpin. Could have probably taken it a little bit more smoother, but we are managing to stick with Stroll, the Canadian driver, of course. And I am noticing the AI are definitely a lot weaker in the, well, I was going to say they are a lot weaker towards this left-hander, but I would definitely say that with that corner cut, that's going to ruin our chances of really trying to make up any sort of ground at this moment. We are still in pursuit of the Canadian driver. He's already pulled over a second gap here, and Russell, well, he's not giving us any breathing room. He's just 5 tenths behind us, so we have to be careful that we don't give him the position too quickly here as we get a better run through that corner. Probably could have taken it a lot more quicker, but those curves are a little bit easier to try and corner cut. Of course, in this game, the corner cut penalties seem a little bit funky at times as, well, there we go. There's one example. We barely rode that curve, and, well, we got a corner cut penalty that's going to cost us all the way down this straight here. As Stroll's already pulled the 2-second gap to us, and Russell, well, he's 2 tenths behind us. He's going to try to make a move up the inside. We're going to block that off and then block his move on the outside. Russell's going to try to go on the outside here. We're going to give him just enough room. He backs out of it, though, and we're going to maintain P6 for now. So I think P6 is honestly our best target for this race. Russell, he tried to send us up the inside into the chicane, but instead he just compromises on line, and now he's a full second behind us. So if we make our way into the next sequence of corners, the sun glare absolutely ruining our line through that sector here. Now that's going to bring Russell back into contention, and, well, apparently the apex was 6 miles to the right, so we decided to take that line, so not the greatest run there. But we're going to have to try and just bring it home through the fast left-hander we go. Don't want to touch those inside curves, although I don't know why I kept touching them this entire race. So clearly I don't know how to drive an F1 mobile racing car here. So we make our way towards Sector 3 then for the final time. Verstappen is still leading the way here. Hamilton and Russell have swapped positions here, so I think those two are going to start battling each other. That's going to give us a bit more breathing room as we make our way towards the final 2 corners then of this race. Verstappen in the Red Bull, I think it's going to leave a 1-2 then for the Milton Keynes team. Alonso's going to come home in 3rd. Leclerc, he's only going to manage 4th, so the Tifosi are not going to be seeing a win in their homeland. Stroll's going to come home in P5. We're going to come home in P6 then for 8 points then for our debut with HAAS. Still a very decent result considering we started P10, and we do manage to come ahead of Hamilton, Sainz, and Russell, and then completing the top 10 is Lando Norris. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video then as we continue Season 3.